Hey everybody, Chris here. Welcome on a Thursday night. We're going to be talking about Dogecoin. Well, the past couple streams, we've kind of made it very different across a lot of different cryptos we were talking about. Talked about exchanges last night, talked about a bunch of different altcoins the night before. And so tonight we're going to talk more about Doge. We'll touch on some others as well. I have a lot to cover about Dogecoin as an investment. If you're interested in buying into Dogecoin, I think most of you probably already are and hold Dogecoin and maybe thinking about buying more. So we'll talk more about that as well. As always, please give the video and give the stream a like. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button too. Certainly appreciate that support. Hit that little notification bell so you can be notified when live stream starts. More people going to be coming in. And if you're watching this on the video, all of my live streams become videos on my channel, so you can rewatch it. And so if you're watching on the video later, where were you on Thursday night? Because you could have been here in the chat, and certainly invite you to, when you're here in the chat, to leave some messages and chats, and we'll get to a lot tonight. Right now, we're looking at Dogecoin just under 8.5 cents. As we're on the stream here, I am going to drop down into the corner so we can get the chart nice and big like I like. And it's just kind of been an up and down day today with Doge. And instead of this channel, if I go back out to the 2 hour and we look at it, here we were between 8.5 and 9. And then when we dropped down yesterday below 8.5, and I thought maybe we were going to be a little lower and then sort of trading between 8 and 8.5. But instead, we're trading between about 8.3 and 8.6. So a really tight window here right now today where Doge has been trading. So let me zoom back in here and you can see this is how we've been trading. So pretty tight window. We'll see how it goes. The MACD has been up in the green, down the red. We're up in the green right now, which is a good sign. And like last night when I was on the stream, last night we were getting a lot of green candles as Doge was trading up. And maybe we can see that tonight too while we're on the stream. How's everyone doing? Royce, hello, welcome. And Miyu. We'll see when that big O face is going to come, because, with Doge, it can take off at any time. So you always have to be ready for that. So the first bit of news I have is Solana on track to flip Dogecoin. What? If I look at the coin market cap and the top 10 coins, there's Dogecoin still at number 10. And there's Solana at 11. Solana has a $9 billion market cap. Doge's is 11.2. That's $2.2 billion difference. So Solana is not about to flip Doge. And in fact, I would bet that Doge flips BUSD and comes into the 9th position before Solana goes over Doge. That's my bet. Anybody wants to take me on that bet, you can, but that's my bet. Doge is going to be a 9th ahead of BUSD before Solana flips Dogecoin. So we'll be watching that over the next week and sort of see how that goes. But that $2 billion difference there, that's a lot. That's a lot of market cap to make up. Now, in this article, they go on to talk about, Solana since the beginning of the year has gone up 140%. Dogecoin has gone up about 20%. Now, 20%, that's not bad, but Solana had such a huge drop. And if we go to the Solana chart here, we go out to the 4 hour, and we zoom back, we'll see that Solana had this huge drop. It had started with the FTX mess back here in November when Solana just nosedived from, well, it was up here at about 35 and went all the way down to 12. And then by the end of the year, it had dipped down below $10. So you could have been picking up some Solana down here at $8.50, $9 near the end of December, which you'd be up quite a bit now on that. But a lot of people were really questioning Solana. Solana had some problems in the past with their blockchain having to be paused or slowed down or whatever they were doing. It was kind of a mess. But a lot of people are behind Solana and pushing it. But now Solana is going to be closing their retail stores. They had opened a couple retail stores. They were going to get into like this phone business and really pushing cryptocurrencies. They had one in New York City, but they're closing that. So we'll see what happens with Solana. But basically what they're saying is if Solana continues to go at the pace that it has been growing like this, well, all of that growth was right here between December 29th and that's January 14th. And at January 14th, it's been sideways since then. So I think the writer of this article is just a little bit off, in my opinion, because Solana's just been going sideways for over a month. So I don't think Solana's going to be flipping Dogecoin anytime soon. So we'll start with that. You know how I am about some of these news articles. They're just making stuff up just to get something in print. I don't know. Kind of crazy. Next, Dogecoin price analysis. Doge recovers at 8.44 as the bulls take charge. So this is a very bullish view of Dogecoin. Looking at sort of a price analysis, looking at the one-day chart. Dogecoin had come down here earlier today, and it dropped down to about 8.35. So now up to 8.45. Well, it's a very small sample size there of that gain, but that's about probably when they were writing this article, thinking Doge was moving up. We had some green on the MACD. But look at the volume. The volume has been really low for the past couple of days. Just not much volume at all for Doge. And their price analysis here is looking at support down at 8.4 and 8.6. Well, that's just the range that's been trading in, right? Support is actually a little lower. They're looking at, well, they're just saying 8.4 again. So we'll see. Dogecoin price analysis shows the market is currently in a bullish state. Price on an uptrend. That's what we've seen. But I still think it's more sideways. It's kind of that crab dance, right? Just kind of going sideways is what I see for Doge right now. The RSI is right in the middle. The MACD is really low. The volume is really low. So yeah, I don't think the bulls are really in charge here. I think it's all kind of right in the middle. So Cryptopolitan, not really good. So there's two articles, not great. Here's an interesting bit of news. The Flare network showcases its interoperability with NFT purchases using XRP and Dogecoin. That's right. So the Flare network, it's a layer 1 blockchain designed to allow developers to build applications that are interoperable with blockchains. And so there's been a lot of excitement about ordinals on Bitcoin and even the Bitcoin network can host NFTs. And a year ago, there was one NFT that was actually minted onto the Dogecoin blockchain by one of the Dogecoin devs, just to show that it could work. The Flare network sees this as an opportunity to look at being able to use tokens from two different blockchains, like buy it on one and then move it to another. So that's what they're looking at doing. But in order to do that, they had to make a purchase. And so they made two purchases. One of them was using XRP and one was using Dogecoin. That's right. They used Dogecoin to buy an NFT and move it over. And they were successful in doing that. So they were showing that it worked and using Dogecoin for what it's meant for now, which is currency, using it as currency. So that is a really cool thing. So the subject of the day is Dogecoin a good investment in 2023? Now, some of us bought Dogecoin back in 2021. That's when I bought it first. At 2 cents was my entry into Doge. And I heard from some of you that have purchased it at under a penny, and you're way up on that if you hadn't sold already for a profit, or taken a little bit for profit maybe. But some have just been holding and holding and holding, and even up through the big rise and back down, still holding. So we got that. But is Doge a good investment now? So this article, unfortunately, the text is really, really light and kind of hard to read. But I'll give you some of the highlights here. And that is that, again, we look at it from when Dogecoin took off 2 years ago. 2021 had that huge rise up to 74, 75 cents, and then was getting shorted back down and ended up crashing with the whole crypto market crashing there in the summer of 2021. That's when Elon Musk in the spring had said he was going to be accepting Bitcoin as payment for Tesla cars. And then he stopped that in May, shortly after the Saturday Night Live appearance that Elon Musk made. And Doge was already going down, and then Bitcoin started going down because of Tesla, stopping using Bitcoin for payments, and that was bad for Doge. So Doge actually went down to about 16 cents right in that summer, and since then it's kind of been up and down and up and down. So excuse me for a second. And so is Dogecoin a good investment in 2023? So far, since the beginning of the year, Doge is up 20%. And then they also compare this to Solana, which is up, they say 139%. The other goes 140. That's pretty close either way. But they don't look at what happened at the end of 2022 when Dogecoin took off because of Elon Musk buying Twitter, and Solana was going the other way because of the FTX crash. So the end of 22 was actually much better for Doge than Solana. It all depends on when you buy. When is your entry point for you to decide whether a Doge is a good investment or not? So right now, looking at Doge at 8.5 cents, that's the question now. Is this a good price to be buying for Dogecoin? Well, let's look at some of the reasons. That's what they go through here. So some of the positives. Dogecoin is trading well below its all-time highs. So we already know what Dogecoin can do. And here's a chart there in May of 2021 going all the way up to 74, 75 cents here. So if Dogecoin were to revisit that level, that's almost a 10x from here, like a 9x, 900% return on your investment. It's a pretty good return. So we know it has that potential. And when we look at coins, especially at what many think is the tail end of this long bear market that we experienced through 2022, we zoom out and we look at a lot of these coins and where these coins were trading a year ago and a year and a half ago, and we say, yeah, well, that's the potential for a lot of these cryptocurrencies to go up. So when they say Dogecoin is down, 85% from its all-time high, and you think, that's really bad. Well, they're all down like 85%. Bitcoin's down a little bit less than that. It's down like 75 or 78%, but that's still big. So for the people who are bears on Dogecoin to just throw out, well, Dogecoin's down 85%, it's terrible. Well, almost all cryptocurrencies were down that much. Some even more. I mean, Solana was down 90, 92, 93% from its all-time high. So Some people who just want to bash on Dogecoin will say that, but they've been all been like that. So, all right. So, despite Dogecoin being down, it has kept a strong position relative to the rest of the crypto market, currently 10th largest crypto by market cap. So if Dogecoin is so bad and people are bashing on it, why is it still a top 10 cryptocurrency? There's something good there, right? It has got a lot of support. Otherwise, it would have just tailed off. But it hasn't. That support is maintained, which is a good sign for Dogecoin. So, and excluding stable coins, there's only 6 cryptos that have a larger market cap than Doge. So if you're wondering if you should buy Doge, now might be a good time. Doge has shown the capacity to reach a much higher price. No guarantee Doge will ever go on a big rally like that. And will it reach $1? We always see these, videos like Doge going to $1. Will we ever see $1? It might be a while before Dogecoin gets to $1. That's going to be a bull market thing, and we may not see that until 2024, 2025 timeframe, something like that. But if you accumulate Doge now, though, in this bear market, then you probably have a better long-term bet than when you start buying Doge when it's already mooning and taking off. So as we talk about these bear markets, the bear markets are the times to create wealth in the future, to accumulate now. Again, no guarantees. And there are some even saying later in 2023, if there's a big recession in the United States, continuing worldwide recession, continuing raising interest rates, and then we have unemployment going up, all of that factored together, we could see lower prices across the board for cryptos and stocks, through the summer of 2023. That could happen. We still have these, rumblings of, increasing, size of a war, what we see between Russia and Ukraine now being expanding or something. I don't know what's going to happen there. And we still have the ongoing, pandemic, stuff going on. So all of that just sort of leads to, some negative news. But cryptocurrency in January said, forget all about that. We're just going to go up. And so crypto has had a really good start to the year, and now kind of going sideways and maybe retracing a little. Not unexpected, but we don't know how that's going to continue on. So again, not financial advice, just reading what this article is saying, but accumulating Doge now is probably better in the long term than buying when it's already in the middle of a big rally. Another reason positive for Dogecoin, and this is something that Mr. Cheyenne is saying here, faith in Elon. Well, Elon Musk, still a fan of Dogecoin. That's right. When Elon started tweeting about Dogecoin 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, it started getting attention and eyes on Dogecoin. And then 2 years ago, when Dogecoin took off, a lot of that was the short squeezing, all of the Wall Street bet stuff that was going on. But that got Elon's attention too. And Elon was like, this could really be something here. And so he kind of helped that excitement about Doge when it finally traded up over a penny, up to 2 cents, 5 cents, 8 cents there 2 years ago. That was really incredible. But he hasn't forgotten about Dogecoin. And over the past 2 years, he doesn't tweet about it as much now as he did in the past, but he hasn't forgotten about the Dogecoin family. And here's what he tweeted out 2 nights ago. High time I confessed. I let the Doge out. So we talked about this the other night on the stream as well. It's kind of a funny tweet. And I think, again, it's just Elon's just winking and nodding and saying, hey, I haven't forgotten about you guys. So So it still has that. And whether you like it or not, Elon Musk will likely continue to play a big role in the Dogecoin narrative moving forward. So there it is. A lot of people are holding on to Doge because of Elon, and they think that this is, that's going to be the thing that really makes it. And if you're going to bet on somebody, I would bet on Elon Musk, and that's why I'm still holding Dogecoin and also buying more, because I believe in Elon Musk as well. And not like Elon's the only thing that, propelling Dogecoin, because Dogecoin is showing a lot of support without interference or Elon, pumping it at all. Because dogs and memes, a lot of fun, great community, as well as this outlook of Dogecoin as a currency that a lot of people have been talking about, including Mark Cuban, that Doge does have this utility as currency. It is a somewhat inflationary coin, as rewards are given to miners for verifying transactions on the blockchain. It is a proof of work cryptocurrency. And that will just continue on for years and years and years, decades. Will just continue on. So it's built like that. And that's how Billy Marcus set it up. I don't think he thought that far ahead. I think he was making it purposely different than Bitcoin to not have a hard cap and just continue to inflate. But that inflation, the number of coins that are continually given out, compared as a percentage of the overall number of coins, becomes less and less each year as the total number of coins grows. So it's somewhat deflationary in that aspect, sort of decreasing inflation, I call it. So there's that. Next is the Dogecoin Foundation. There are some who say, oh, Dogecoin is a dead project, nobody's working on it. Well, there are devs, there are developers that do continue to work on Dogecoin, and the Dogecoin Foundation, which was sort of brought back to life in 2021, or reestablished, they call it here. There is a Dogecoin core development fund, some call it the tip jar. And this fund is providing Doge rewards to developers that contribute to releases of the Dogecoin core software. So it's continuing to be improved. Our Dogecoin devs working on it. And as new releases come out, those that contributed to those releases can get paid out of the tip jar. So that's how that is all set up. And a couple things that have happened with Elon Musk sort of saying, Dogecoin, pretty good as a currency, can even be better if you can make it faster and you can lower its network fees. And the Dogecoin devs have done both of that over the past year and a half. Whereas a proof of work cryptocurrency, I think it's the second fastest behind XRP in terms of its speed. And the network fees are minimal. So that's very positive for Dogecoin. Reasons against. Well, they say Dogecoin isn't particularly innovative. And that's because it was set up just to be a currency. I mean, Bitcoin was also set up to just be a currency, a peer-to-peer digital currency. That's how Bitcoin was set up. So you don't hear people saying that Bitcoin isn't innovative, right? The only thing different about Bitcoin is that it has a hard cap. Well, people aren't going to use it as a peer-to-peer digital currency because they want to hoard it. They want the store of value of Bitcoin. Like the Bitcoin is going to become so rare in the future that it's going to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars each Bitcoin. So we're just going to buy some and we're going to hoard it. Well, that's not what Satoshi Nakamoto had in mind for Bitcoin. You read the Bitcoin white paper and it's all about using it for transactions to get away from the banks. That's why it was invented. It was invented to get away from the banks because of the big 2008 financial crash. And then the banks ended up being the ones that got bailed out by the government. and not the people who ended up losing a lot of money. So why not Bitcoin? But why not Dogecoin too? Dogecoin is built on the Bitcoin core, which Litecoin was as well. Litecoin has many more coins, is also does halving every 4 years like Bitcoin does. In fact, the Litecoin halving is going to be in August of this year. And then there was another cryptocurrency called the Lucky Coin, which was made off of Litecoin. And that's the one Billy Marcus used to make his fun little bells cryptocurrency that didn't go anywhere. But that became the basis for Dogecoin when Billy made Dogecoin. And he just made up a number of how many coins there were and how many coins would be given out for mining. That was all just made up just for fun. You know, if Bitcoin is only going to have 21 million coins, oh, let's make Dogecoin like so many more. Let's make it like 100 billion, you know. Now there's 132 billion Dogecoins. Actually, CoinMarketCap says there's 132 here. That number hasn't changed though since last May or June from the last time that I'd seen this. But we know, I mean, CoinGecko has this number at like 138 billion because that number just keeps going up all the time because new Dogecoins are given out as rewards to miners for validating transactions on the blockchain. But this number on CoinMarketCap has just stayed fixed at 132. I think it's more like 138, more like what CoinGecko says. So this market cap of 11.2, I don't think is right. I think it's more like 11.4 or 11.5. But I tweeted out to CoinMarketCap and said, hey guys, you should take a look at that. But they haven't done anything about it yet. I think they should. They should get it right. As far as innovation, it's a proof of work cryptocurrency. It was made to make fun of all of the other crypto projects that were coming out at the time back in 2013. And it is what it is. So it's based on a meme, crypto based on a meme is what it is. Some people think that that's not enough to make an investment. It can't do smart contracts and it wasn't made to do smart contracts. So yeah, if you want to invest in smart contract cryptos, yeah, you can do that too. You can own some Ethereum and some others and, have a balanced portfolio. And that's what I always preach to, be diversified. But have a little Doge too, because we know what Doge can do. It can take off on its own, just like that. Dogecoin is inflationary, yes. And like we just talked about, there's up to 5 billion Doge coins that enter the circulation each year. Some people see this as a big negative because there's not going to be the scarcity of Doge. There's just ever increasing Dogecoin, and people don't like that. I mean, you just know that's what it's about. Yeah, 5 billion new Dogecoin maximum. That's what if Dogecoin is trading very busy. I think last year there was probably only about 2.5 billion new Doge that came into circulation, just because there wasn't anywhere near as much volume as there had been the year before. If you're looking at Doge as just an investment and you want to just buy it, hold it, have the price go up and sell it for a profit, yeah, Doge can do that. There's probably some other cryptos that might be better at that. And sort of long term, a lot of people think Bitcoin is the only one, only Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin and you're going to be rich in the future. There's no guarantees in the future that any of this is going to go up. We don't know. With increasing regulation from the government, we don't know what's going to happen. Which leads us to this macroeconomic outlook. Many economists are predicting that a global recession will happen. That's what I talked about earlier on the stream, right? Sometime in 2023, if there will indeed be a global recession, difficult to imagine that extremely speculative assets like Dogecoin would perform well. In recessions, risky assets tend to suffer as investors move their money into assets that are perceived as safe investments. Well, that's just all the way out of the all out of crypto as well. That's just getting out of crypto. So so that was it. So that's what's going on there in terms of sort of arguments sort of against Doge and things that could happen. So price prediction for 2023, what does the year have in store? Well, what they've added here is you see this in blue, which is the pricing of Doge. And then they have this dotted line here. And they're thinking, well, throughout 2023, Doge could continue to be sideways and maybe even down. But sometime in the future, there could be this, which is this big rise in Doge. That could happen. And that's showing Doge up to just about $1 there. So that's what Doge can do. So why not have a little Doge? So if you want to buy some Dogecoin, how can I invest in Dogecoin? They recommend Binance. If you saw my stream last night and I was talking about exchanges, I was talking about Binance as well. I'm in the United States, so I use Binance.us. I've got a link in the description below for joining Binance.us. This is what I do a lot of my trading on. I also use Coinbase. I have a description. I have a link below for Coinbase as well. And then if you want to use an app, I've got links to Webull as well as Robinhood down below as well. So, so this was what we talked about last night is how trading works on these platforms, particularly Coinbase and Binance.us, that you see the pricing here, but you also see the bid and the ask prices. And the spread here is always 0.0001. So it's not like Robinhood and Webull that have a much larger spread. And Crypto.com has a really big spread, and others do as well. But this is like a 0.0001 difference here. And so when you put in, if you just want to buy at market rate here, you're going to get this price, whatever it shows here. That's what you're going to buy it for. It's not going to be like way up higher like you see on Robinhood, which is why I like Binance.us. And it also shows you all of the purchases as they happen. It's a really slow night right now. There's low volume, so there's not a lot happening right now. It's pretty slow. So these low volume times, you take what you get, right? So that is that on exchanges. So this article just goes through that, and then choose how you will store your Doge. And we talked about this last night as well. And what do they recommend here? They recommend the Ledger Nano S. Well, look what I've got, a Ledger Nano S right here. So talked about this last night of keeping your crypto safe. I recommend the Ledger Nano S. I have a link in the description below for Ledger. Recommend take it out to check that out using that link and see what's in Ledger. I like the S. That's the least expensive one. I don't think you should be using Bluetooth with a hardware wallet. When you have your hardware wallet, you plug it in, you do your business, and you unplug it. That's the idea of having a hardware wallet, is that it's not connected. I don't think you should be buying crypto on Ledger Live, and having it all plugged in. The whole reason to have a Ledger is to have a hardware wallet that you can unplug. So the Ledger Nano S, that's what I have. I recommend it. They recommend it as well right here, Ledger Nano S. So Kriss here isn't that off base, with what others are saying as well. So is Dogecoin a good investment for 2023? Well, Dogecoin is certainly not dead. So that's good, right? Could be a good investment in 2023 if there's a broader bullish turn in the crypto market. The coin is trading at a big discount from its all-time highs, still has the support of its most prominent backer, Elon Musk. But on the other hand, the fact that Dogecoin had a slower start to 23 than a lot of other coins could be a negative sign and an indicator that demand for Doge is cooling off. Dogecoin hasn't made any major moves in terms of its technology. Well, there have been some minor ones, but that's just how Doge works. But if you're interested in meme coins, Doge is the one, right? And you can chase SHIB and you can go for these other ERC and BSC tokens, Floki and these other things. And there's a big risk for that. And I even noticed on CoinMarketCap here, there's a Floki CEO coin now. There's a baby Floki and there is a Hey Floki AI coin. So because Floki did so well that this Floki token back in January, there's all these other copycat Floki tokens being made off of, I mean, it's just crazy. I'm not a fan of those tokens, those ERC20 and BSC tokens. And if you want to go chase them, don't use a lot of money doing it. You just don't know. Can you make money off it? If you time it right, you can. But I don't support that. So that's my take on Doge. Interesting article there. And let me see where that was again. That was on CoinCodex. So if you go to coincodex.com, you can find this article on Doge. So what's going on? Hey, Ron, how you doing? Bringing the green on on my stream again with the Celtics playing. The Celtics win. They're playing tonight. Didn't check that. Let me do this real quick. I know they were ahead at halftime. I had seen. Oh, it looks like it went to overtime. They went to overtime, and there's like 10 seconds left, and the Celtics are up by 4. Overtime. Wow, that must have been exciting. But here we are talking about Dogecoin. So to the moon. You have faith in Elon. Yeah. Space Frog, how you doing? Just curious. When do you see the next bull run beginning for crypto? Where do you see Dogecoin going at the peak of the next bull market? So if you've been watching me, I'm not a complete bear. I'm bullish on Dogecoin and knowing that some catalyst to come along and Dogecoin will take off, and it can take off regardless of what else is going on in the markets. However, I don't see that happening within the next, say, 4 or 5 months. And I think we may see a downturn in the overall crypto market as well as stocks. I'm kind of agreeing that, this recession thing is real, and we're not going to be seeing a lot of extra money being spent on crypto. So yeah, a little bit slow down there. And then with that slowdown, it's going to be tough going. So buying now at 8.4 cents, if you're going to buy now, or you're looking for a dip, maybe down into the 7s, that could happen. So we could maybe see some lower lows with Dogecoin. How high can Doge go? Sky's the limit. $1, $2 more, depending on all of the things that are happening, not only with Doge, but with the rest of the crypto market. We could see quite a bit of rise in the price. So in the bear market, this is the time to accumulate. That's what I'm doing. And I've talked about my other streams about the other cryptocurrencies that I'm also investing in, because I'm building a wide portfolio, because it's tough when you're seeing like Doge and Bitcoin kind of going sideways here, but you've got some other ones that are taking off. And we'll talk about that more tomorrow night on my stream. We'll be talking about some other coins as well and what's going on with them. So tune in for that as well. I'm on at 9 o'clock every night. So tune in to that. Hey, Dust Bunnies, how you doing? So yes, I bought Conspiraboomers account, partially because I kind of like the history of it, but it was a big account, and sort of taking that over was going to sort of open up my audience to a bigger audience, kind of have some fun, posting some other tweets into some different things, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I had the old Dogecoin Live Twitter account, and I'd started that from scratch and wasn't getting a lot of exposure, really hard to build from zero. So this guy was selling it. He didn't want it anymore. So somebody was going to take it over. A A lot of the stuff that's on there, I don't completely agree with. A lot of things that were in the past, but there was some of it that I did and found interesting. So I know a lot of the Conspiraboomer followers there weren't happy about it, but it was going to be sold anyway. The guy was selling it. It was on the market. That's how I found out about it. So, and if you don't like me, that's fine. Just unfollow and call it a day. Some people there are just continuing to hound me. Hey, if that's what you want to spend your time doing, fine. But just trying to have fun. And that's all that account was about. And that's all I try and do is have fun. So check me out. As I renamed it Kriss Pax. That's me, Kriss Pax here on YouTube and Kriss Pax on Twitter as well. I'm at Kriss Pax. Invite you to follow me on Twitter and we'll just have some fun because that's what we're doing here. Just trying to have fun. I know it's a bear market. A lot of you are down in your finances, but that's no reason to really be down in life, right? So we're building for the future here. And that's my outlook on it. Hey, Ron, about the only guarantee is everything will be taxed. Yeah, but you're not taxed until you sell, right? Not taxed till you sell. My taxes were so much easier this year than last year because I was holding through 2022. I did a few trades here and there, but it was certainly a lot easier to do taxes this year. Hey, Ped, Doge needs to start being used as currency as soon as possible. Yeah, well, I mean, last year I bought lots of things, right? So here's one thing that I bought. This is from Tesla. And I bought the Cybertruck whistle using Doge. So I got that off the Tesla merch shop. That was all Doge. I bought AMC movie tickets. Was able to go on the AMC website and use Doge. It went through BitPay, but it worked really easy with my Doge wallet. Just right in and got my went and saw Batman using Dogecoin. So there's more and more use cases for currency being out there. And I think over time, we're going to see more and more and more acceptance of Doge as currency. So why Elon Musk hasn't really looked into SpaceX and why the SpaceX merch store isn't taking Dogecoin, I don't know, because I think he thought it was. He said it was. But it's not yet, and that's something that I think that they should do. But that's what we're looking at. And yeah, Pat, no better coin than Doge to be used as currency. I don't know what's going to happen with a digital dollar. There is a new piece of legislation that has been introduced in Congress to not do a CBDC or the digital dollar here in the United States. But we'll see. A lot of other countries are pursuing their own digital currencies. Some already have them, like China has the digital yuan, but they use it and track everything on it. The blockchain is private, and they can see everything being used with that digital yuan. That's not going to fly here in the United States. That isn't going to fly. The American citizens are not going to want to be tracked like that. So I don't think a digital dollar would be very successful here in the US. I really don't. The anonymity of cryptocurrencies is what a lot of people are attracted to cryptos about for using cryptos. I mean, that's why it was made, right? That was part of the thing about Satoshi making Bitcoin, was that it was anonymous and you could do these peer-to-peer transactions completely anonymous. Of course, the governments and the banks don't like that, right? And so they're going to try and do everything in their power to get control. Should we have government regulation? I believe we should have some, because we need to stop the FTXs from happening again, the Celsiuses, the Voyagers. There's a lot of people who got wrecked thinking they were doing the right thing. And that's pretty bad. And that shouldn't happen. So I can see why some regulation of government from the government is important. But at the same time, you know what the risks are investing in cryptocurrency in the first place, and you got to take that risk on. We think there's going to be a big reward, a huge reward in the end. Guessing that crypto prices are just going to go up because they did before. But 2021 was a strange year because we had the pandemic going on, and there was all of this money just flowing out. We had all of the checks being sent out, right? The stimulus checks in the United States, and other countries were doing it too. So there's a lot of money out there. There's not a lot of money this year. So I don't see a big bull run in crypto this year because the money's not there. The recession is it's drying it up. So I'd love to be able to sit here and just say, we're going to the moon next week, right? That's not happening. So that's why you guys watch me though, right? Because you get more of the straight truth, because that's what you should be listening to, and not all the moon boys out there who just saying Dogecoin's going to $5, $10, $69, $690. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So that's what's going on tonight. With Doge, a little downward in the market here now, 843. Again, kind of going up and down. Well, we got Bitcoin. Yeah, a few little red candles on Bitcoin. Again, volume is really low. Just kind of quiet tonight. So join me again tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. I'll be talking about Bitcoin and other altcoins as well as Doge. Join me there. Also, after this stream, I'll be turning on the Dogecoin 24/7 charts. And with those charts, I had to change my music. I got a copyright warning from the soundtrack that I was playing before, even though I'd been using that soundtrack for a month and a half. I got some copyright warning, so I had to change my soundtrack. The new one is a little bit more upbeat, so I hope you guys like it. So about 5 minutes after this stream ends, we'll have the Dogecoin Live chart up. So check that out as well. Oh, Space Frog, you got another comment here. How do you think additional regulation will affect altcoins like Doge? Also, do you think Doge needs Elon to make big moves? Yeah, that second part. Right now, Dogecoin for the big moves is kind of relying on Elon Musk. From SpaceX to Tesla to Twitter, all of those are the big catalysts right now. The slower day-to-day growth that we see is partly what's happening in the crypto market, but also, the support that Doge has. When Doge comes down to a certain level, a lot of people start buying it because they think it's at a discount. And so the price starts going back up, regardless of what Elon Musk is doing. So we see that, but that's not enough to make, a huge gain. So these articles that I pointed to earlier, that comparing like Solana to Doge. So Doge has not performed as well so far this year, but it's still the number 10 cryptocurrency overall, which is a good thing. It hasn't dropped down. So there's good enough support to keep Doge up there. So that's what I see. And additional regulation. I think it probably over time will sort of smooth out the volatility, but I don't think it will stop the growth. And I think that's a good thing. And I also think that, again, we need to keep the FTXs from happening again, and the Celsius and the Voyager. We have to stop that for cryptocurrency to really move forward and become embraced by institutions and the government. Because right now they just point to those and they say crypto bad, and you just keep hearing that again and again. Crypto's bad because look what can happen. Look what happened to Celsius. Look what happened to FTX. So crypto's bad. So if all of that can be regulated enough so that it's cleared up and you get a lot of new believers then coming into crypto, that helps crypto overall. And the altcoins will just figure it out. The ones that have the best use cases are the ones that are going to grow over time. If you look at the top 10 cryptocurrencies from like 6 or 7 years ago, it's not the same ones as there are today. Some have fallen off, others have moved up. And that's going to happen again. Over the next 3 to 4 years, 5 years, something else is going to come along. That's how crypto goes. So that's my take on that. So yeah, a little bit red here at the end of the stream here, 841, 842 for Doge, but still low volume. And so we'll see how Doge trades overnight into the mornings. Again, I'll be putting the other 24/7 live stream on after this. So hope you enjoyed the article about Doge as an investment and my other thoughts on Dogecoin and cryptocurrency. Come back again, 9 o'clock Eastern time. That's Boston time where I am, United States. So check your clocks wherever you are. And again, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell. You can be notified when the stream comes on in case you forgot and all of that. So have a good evening, and I will see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.